like transparency is a whole ass thing. It's a whole ass vibe. And it's sexy as F-U-C-K para me. What's up? How you doing, Ray of Sunshines? I am your girl, Talisa Ray, wife coach. We are reviewing Ready to Love, the Potomac season. So it's really season number 6, episode number 9, the Getaway Shuffle. So they're on a 2-day excursion, getaway weekend. Everybody under one house, most people with more than one connection, trying to get in where they fit in. And when they arrive in the Clifton Dakia Joy order. How awkward is that? Like, the two people with the connection with the man that they both have the strongest with show up like back, boom, boom, boom. The big talk was about the 2 bags on the bed, okay? The 2 bags on the bed that he said, oh, wow, yeah. And then Sabrina comes in and says something about the 2 bags and then pretends like he didn't know that Joy was going to be in the bed with him. Like, it was already said once. At least that's the way it appeared to me. At least that's the way that it showed up on the show, as if he saw it. And then he said, I don't know whose bag that is, but I know the smell of it. Like, I'm with Dakia, sir. You knew that was the plan. You knew y'all made that decision. That wasn't on the fly decision. It was what it was. Y'all even probably said about what time you gonna show up. You had a conversation and you should have been like, yes, that is Joy's bag. The end. Y'all grown. None of y'all are saying that this is the one yet. So I feel like you should have been honest in that moment. Like, oh yeah, that's Joy's bag. But I get not wanting to hurt nobody's feelings, right? But I don't like him pretending like he didn't know. So Tommy comes in. Tony's my old boss. Tommy comes in and he says, listen, Tina's having car trouble, but she's still coming. And then turns around and says, before the day's over, for first day, guess what's going to happen? One of the men are going to go home. We have to make the decision for one of the men to go home. Okay, mid-trip. That's what happened. Y'all, who y'all think gonna go home? You could tell me now. Well, I guess you know now. I mean, anyway. So just scratch that, because that don't make any sense. If we was live and we was watching it together, that would make better sense. But it ain't making none right now. Nonetheless, we finally see Tori have a conversation. And I feel like this conversation is with the wrong person at the wrong time. He has a conversation with Demetrius, and he talks about how the lodge, I think there was a lodge, but the Truth or Dare event was the catalyst to him and Sabrina's connection dissolving. And he was taken aback by the connection between Demetrius and him. And Demetrius was like, well, no, we still out here making decisions. So, I mean, come on. Demetrius know that it's over for him. Demetrius know. They didn't have a conversation. Him and Sabrina didn't have a conversation. But I feel like this is a conversation that should have been had a long time ago. And not with Demetrius. Nonetheless, well, we see Dante. Who is Dante? That's from last season. We see Donovan and Sabrina having a conversation, because she's like, there's some red flags. If you watch my lives on Wednesday in the 5 p.m.-ish hour PST, you would have seen how Wendell talks about she is trying to find a reason to disqualify these men. And I thought, my God, that is a very good observation, because each man there was an issue with. She had to find one thing that she had to find an issue with. But they're sitting there and they're having a conversation, and we find out that Donovan has only been divorced for 3 months, really single on his own for 3 months after the divorce, right? And, she's like, oh, I'm not sure, is he really ready? She's asking him the questions, and he says, I want a partner. I want someone that I'm going to grow with, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And she kind of like frowns upon him being by himself only for 3 months. But ma'am, Your divorce has only been for 5 months. So that makes you better than him? Like, if that's what we're looking at, if you're saying from the time you were divorced, it's been 3 months, it's been 5 months, then guess what? Y'all the same. What's the difference between 5 and 3 months? 2 months? It's not really enough to be like judging somebody. She says also, because it's been so short of a time, that she doesn't want someone who's going to be playing the field. Ma'am, you are the player of the field in this season, okay? You currently have 3 men who are connected to you. And right now, you don't know which one you want. Like, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Dating, I don't feel like dating is playing the field. If you're dating, you're having a good time. If your goal is a one-to-one relationship, if you're honest about that you're dating and you're enjoying company until, something changes, someone shows up the way that you want them to, then you're dating. Like, don't argue with me on that. This ain't even up for argument. Until you have the conversation that you are committed in your one-to-one relationship, everybody is dating. Everybody is still fair game. Do not come for me on that. Have the conversation. Don't make the assumption. As women, we make an assumption and then we find out, oh, wait a minute, we wasn't exclusive. No, ma'am, he never told you that. He was just digging out your guts. Child, that's a whole conversation for another time that maybe we can talk about if you get a membership when it goes live. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so I think Paul is over Carmen. Last episode with Chill Bill, I think that solidified it for him. She's not showing any substance. She's more sexual than anything else. She's rubbing on his head. He's eating a salad. I mean, he looks unfazed. He is so not connected with her anymore. So then we see Dakia and we see Clifton, and they're sitting outside and they're having a conversation. And she's all like, my energy is off. It was off from the beginning. It was the bag that did it, okay? And she wanted him to make it known what his connection is, or come for her, or have the conversation about what was going on in her energy. But I'm like, listen, he's always had the 2 connections with the 2 women. Most people have always known that his biggest connection was with Joy. So you want him to have a conversation with him that he doesn't know that you want him to have a conversation with him about? Ma'am, do me a favor and start the conversation. Ask the question. Release yourself from this anguish and this heartbreak that you may be feeling coming up on. Release yourself. Take charge of that and ask the question. Do not wait for him to let you down. Your intuition, your discernment is telling you, and use it. Like, we ain't finna be waiting for you to let us down. We're gonna ask you so that we can process it and move on. Because the longer we wait, I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. From my understanding, men they're not rushing to hurt us, right? Unless they assholes, unless they players, they're not really rushing to just break your heart, right? It's a hard decision for them, just like it is for us. And so when you know it's coming, ask the questions. If you feel like it's coming, figure out a way in love and kindness to ask them, hey, yo, what's up? Where are we? Where are we is such a hard question. How are you feeling about us? Like, do a check-in. Is there anything that you feel like we need to improve on? Are we moving in the right direction? What direction are we moving in? Like, have that check-in and that conversation, because it helps to set the tone of where you are, and that way no one is delusional. Like, I don't know. It's just me, and I love a good check-in. I love to see where we are. You see Joy and Donovan just shooting the breeze. You can tell that there's not like any chemistry, but she's got her leg up on him and they're having a conversation, and she's asking about his connections. And he tells her that it is with Carmen, Sabrina, because Tina ain't there yet. She ain't showed up. And Carmen saunters over there and asks for a few moments, and she asks the question, honey. Now, that's the one thing that I'm going to say that I like about Carmen, is that she is a little more forward than most people. She wants to know how your connection's connecting, what's happening, what's going on. She said, what's up with you and Joy? And he was like, oh yeah, me and Joy, no, she was just asking me about my connections. Like, ain't really nothing happening between her and I. Like, everybody knows that Joy is for Clifton, all in. Chips, all in, 100%. She's betting on Clifton, okay? Okay, I'm just going to tell you the truth. She is glad that he is showing her some affection, rubbing on her leg, etc., because Paul is not given what is supposed to give. He is not being PO. He is not being the slime ball that he has started off as. You know what I'm saying? Like, now he's realized he wants someone with substance. And then you see Sabrina, honey, talk about, oh, I asked to sit next to you because I wasn't sure if you liked me or whatever. Now, I know that she was jesting, you know what I'm saying, was like being playful in that, but there was some truth to it. What she said was she needed reciprocity, okay? She said that, yes, he's been doing better, but she feels like she's the one that has been initiating and having the conversations and coming for him, but she needs him to show up and give that same energy back. That's something that he has not been doing. I mean, I ain't seen it either, that he's still playing too cool for school. Like, I'm with you, Sabrina. I ain't seen it. The one thing I noticed about Demetrius is that he does have beautiful skin, and his face, all his nose, his nose, his eyes, his mouth are like really close together and compact in his face. Like, I guess I'd be staring at people because Mona say, why you do that to me all the time, Talisa? Because then I can't get it out of my face. But if you look at him, y'all, everything is like right here, like centered, like it's like there's no spaces between. Nonetheless, that's not what this is about. But one of the things Demetrius said was that she's been his strongest connection, and if she's unsure, then that makes him uneasy. Well, sir, she's unsure because you aren't pressing up on her. She's used to the men coming after her. Hello, somebody. I don't feel like I should be, I got everything going for myself. I don't feel like I should be chasing after no man. That's what she's saying. And you're not doing what you're supposed to do. I'm giving you the energy saying that I'm interested in you, but you are not giving it back. So then we see Tori. He flirts with Carmen. I'm all like, what is that? What is that? It's too little too late. This is the too little too late episode. Because what is you doing, Tori? Like, where are you sleeping, Carmen? I need a king-size bed. Where are you sleeping, Carmen? You know, and everybody laughs. Oh, what you know, like, I'm all like, sir, it's a no for me. Like, what are we doing? And you always, for you, your flirtatiousness always has to do with with not just yours, but with sexual intimacy, your anatomy, sleeping with, like, it's always, that's how you start. Like, is that what you have to offer? Please feel like that you are worth more than the anatomy that is attached to you, okay? You have more to offer. Go ahead and say it in the mirror that you are valued and you are worthy and you are enough. And people like you more for what you have, more than just your baby arm, okay? So Dakia, they in like the little area, and Joy talks about it's a sleepover. Everybody put on your pajamas. Honey, Dakia is not missing a beat. First it was a sleeping bag, and now y'all coming out here in these matching onesies. Not necessarily matching, but you both have on onesies. Coming out here, clowning around and everything. Like, oh, I see what this is. Y'all had a whole ass conversation, okay? And the reason she knows they had a whole ass conversation is because she had a whole ass conversation with him as well, and was telling her some things that they would do. But we'll get to that in just a second. And so, she's taken aback by it. Again, the conversation should have been had when they were sitting outside. She had an opportunity to be with him alone and to say, hey, this is what I'm noticing. Hey, where are we? How should I be moving? Like, that's how I feel that should have moved. But because she's in her feelings, rightfully so, that she's feeling some kind of way, she probably didn't have the words. But you a boss. You a boss. And bosses always figure out how to have the tough conversations. They have to. It's part of the job. You just have to apply that to you now. So we see Sabrina and Tori. Okay, and Sabrina's out there. He goes to sit out to talk to Sabrina. And listen, again, it's a little too little too late. Too little too late. He's having a conversation with her about how he feels and where things have. And it's, it was a quiet little awkward silence. And finally she was like, you know what? I see us as friends. I don't see us having a romantic connection anymore. He did that to himself. And I think that he was going into it thinking that he could recover that relationship, but he cannot. That conversation that he had about how he was feeling, all of that thing, he could have been honest and open. And I get he didn't know her right away, but he could have shared some of that with her the day after it happened. The day after Truth and Dare, and they shared that intimate kiss, Demetrius and her. He could have sat down when he had the time and said, you know what, I was really thrown off by that. I thought we had something. It confused me. I'm in my feelings a little bit, and she said, I tried to give you some space to figure it out, but I gave you enough space, and guess what he did? Hung himself. Give them enough rope and they will hang themselves, okay? That's what he did. She was like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. Listen, this is how you know when your connection be solid and you in a place with a whole bunch of people. He woke up with joy and said it was like waking up on Christmas morning. Do you remember how that was as a child? And waking up, if you celebrated Christmas, right? Or anything, your birthday, any celebratory moments, and you wake up and you've been excited and you've been waiting, and then you wake up and there it is. I don't care what holiday, birthday, event it was, but just think back on that moment. And for me, I would agree with him with Christmas. It was a big deal with the lights and the food and the presents and the family, like huge deal. Dear future bae, actually, listen, God, listen up, universe, listen up, Earl, listen up, spirit guides and ancestors. Let one of my future baes feel like it's waking up to me is like waking up for Christmas morning, because that's dope. Okay, and she's absolutely gorgeous without her makeup, and without her makeup she looks younger, way younger. Then on top of that, he goes out and sits with her and have a conversation. Since I'm here, we might as well get to this too. He goes outside, has a conversation with her, and she brings up his other connections, and he's like, yeah, but he doesn't solidify shit either. And she says, for right now, I feel like it should be a yes, like a hell yes, like that's what it is for her. But that's not what it is for him. If you watched my live, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Wednesdays, it's a chat about Ready to Love. We talked about it. Go check it out. This week, join me at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we're going to talk about Ready to Love. And we're going to have the women live. So every other week, depending on who gets eliminated, determines which of us are live. So anyone that's non-binary, choose either day. It's fine with me. So men when the women are being eliminated, and then women when the men are being eliminated. So this week, I'm opening up the panel to women. Let's have the conversation. Come on and join me. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Wednesdays. Okay? So anyway, Sabrina goes and checks on Dakia, because she sees it with her own two eyes. And not to mention that Sabrina's on that side. You know what I'm saying? She's the one on the side of causing the heartbreak. So she can recognize, and then of course live a little bit and your heart will get broken. If your heart has never been broken, live a little longer. You know what I'm saying? Be a little vulnerable and open with people, and you are liable to have your heart broken, and it's just not by people you are intimately involved with or romantically involved with. Honey, your friends, your children will break your heart. Your parents, you will get your heart broken. It's just that it ain't no way around it. Just live a little bit. Anyway, so she goes and she checks on her because it's in her face. They in the bed together. He out there talking to her. He walking off and having private time with her. My eye itches, y'all. And, they got the onesies. Girl, how you feeling? what you feeling like? I love you, and I'm checking on you. And she was like, if he was just honest with me. We had conversations to have a plan that we were going to cuddle on a couch and all these things that we were going to do, and that has just gone out the window. I see where his connection is. I just wish he had said something and not had me out here looking foolish, hurt and embarrassed, because here I am thinking I might still have a shot, but I really don't. Something must have changed since we had the conversation to being in the same space with Joy, who is undoubtedly all in, right? And so I get that. I get it. And now what? How do you manage that? Y'all let me know down below in the comments what you think should happen, what she should do. Like I said, she should have had the conversation when she first started feeling away. She should have had the conversation, because that's what this is about, right? It's about being transparent, honest, open with yourself, not necessarily with the person in this dating show or whatever the fuck this is. Though that is what's happening with them too. You have to first be honest with what you're feeling, and that way you can address it. Sometimes it takes us a little bit of time, but in this instance, girl, you knew what you knew, and you should have asked. I'm not faulting you though, but I feel like he should have said something too. He should have been more open about his connection with Joy, even though we all can see it. I feel like he should have said, this is where I am. I still like you, but I'm heavy on the joy right now, right? You know what I'm saying? We all want a little joy in our life, and that's exactly what's happening. I think I missed saying that Donovan called Tina, and no answer, no response, no nothing. Okay? So weird to me. So weird to me. And so we see her, now we see Dakia talking with Paul. I'm going to have a conversation with Paul, and she really needs to pick me up, and Paul gives it to her. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say she looks way younger without all her makeup on. I could see her now being in her 30s. She still doesn't look relaxed. I think I already said that, even in her casual clothes. She needs like on loungewear or something, because she just feels, she feels like she's uncomfortable. I don't know. But he sits and he gives her the compliments and affirms her in this moment that, anybody who can't see how wonderful you are, shame on them. And that's what she needed to hear. She needed to hear that I see you as a powerful, strong Black woman. She needed to hear, I see your beauty, because that's pretty much what it kind of boiled down to. And she needed that. He gave it to her, and that gave him an opportunity to get to know him. But again, Paul is a little too late. I'm looking for the words, child. He's too little, too late again, and he should have been showing up as this person the entire time. He probably would have gotten further, and then he doesn't seem right now as creepy to me. Like, it just hit him like, whoa. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. Then, so, I wrote down that Tori should have bowed out. Tori should have bowed out a couple episodes ago, okay? When he realized that him and Sabrina, they wasn't talking as often and all of that, he should have bowed out a little while ago. And then should have bowed out when she was like, we platonic. When you figured you needed to go find new connections in the last 11th hour, you should have said, I'm gonna go on and go like everybody else. My journey to ready to love is over. My person is not here. He should have said that. Tommy shows up and he's all like, ooh, ladies, come on and let's talk about who's going home. So as they're sitting there and they're having a conversation, we already know who the connections are with, and they start talking about who's on the bottom. And there's a little bit of everybody. Tori's name came up more than once, and so did Paul's. But Demetrius came up, Donovan came up. So it's a little bit of everybody. But ultimately, the two people at the bottom were Tori and Paul. Now, we're doing that thing again that I don't like, where they're told in front of the group, you're not ready to love. The two of you come up. Like, I'm not here for that. But I'm going to say that Sabrina put on her corporate hat and is going to deliver the news like a boss, right? You both are in the bottom, but one of you we've concluded that this person we don't know until next episode. But I don't know what this thing is, this round table they're having with the men and the women together. Baby, let me tell you, I'm here for it. I can't wait to see it and see what is going on. Because it looks like whatever's happening between Carmen and Dakia is about to come to a head like a horrible pimple. I am your girl, Talisa Ray. Thank you so much for watching my review of Ready to Love Potomac. If it's your first time visiting my channel, click the subscribe button and become a ray of sunshine. Next to that is the notification bell to alert you of when I upload my videos. Click it too. Share it so your friends and your groups, Facebook, whatever groups y'all be on, Periscope, I don't know what y'all be on no more. Whatever your groups are, your group chats, your WhatsApp groups, all of that, share it with them so they can come in and have the dialogue with us. Like the video because you like me and you're excited to be here like I am. I'm so glad that you guys continue to join me weekly, on time, late. You're still here and I'm forever grateful for you. Know that I love you in real life and want every good thing that God has in store for you, even if you don't know what that is for yourself. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I will catch you on the next review.